I'm Callan Hobman. Here's a look at what we're following on this Thursday. The Kern County Sheriff's Office announced yesterday that a detentions deputy with more than 15 years of experience was arrested. KCSO saying 42-year-old Elizabeth Fernandez was found with methamphetamine at the Lerdo Jail Complex and was under the influence of the drug too. Sheriff Donna Youngblood says the employee is now on administrative leave. She worked with the county for 21 years, including 16 as a detentions deputy.
You think you know employees, you think you know people, but obviously there was a side to this employee that others didn't know or didn't say. We don't know yet. We're still in the beginning of this investigation, but it's beyond me. Someone with a 20-year record in law enforcement decides that using methamphetamine is a good idea.
The Kern County District Attorney's Office says Fernandez's bail was set at $55,000. She was booked with charges of bringing a controlled substance into a jail and being under the influence of a controlled substance. Her arraignment is set for June 20th. The DA's office says they will review KCSO's investigation, and if the charges are deemed appropriate, they will be filed before the arraignment. Meanwhile, the Bakersfield Police Department wants to remind those of you who are celebrating graduation this week to stay safe, avoid unnecessary risk, and have a plan in case of an emergency. Fentanyl specifically continues to be a great concern and has a devastating impact on our youth, our families, and community. Fentanyl has been found in non-prescription Vicodin, Xanax, oxycodone, and other illicit drugs. As little as 2 milligrams of fentanyl can kill an average-sized adult. BPD urges those celebrating this weekend for the graduations to be safe, refrain from consuming unknown substances, and be prepared in the event of a fentanyl overdose. If someone does start to overdose, call 911 immediately. Symptoms of a fentanyl overdose include slow breathing, chest pain, nausea, weak pulse, and seizures or tremors. If you plan to head out to Lake Isabella this summer, the Department of Public Health wants to remind you to be mindful of bacteria in the lake before you go for a swim. Public Health recently obtained water samples from 8 locations in Lake Isabella, and they say that areas show signs of the presence of potentially harmful blue-green algae. Public Health spokesperson Michelle Corson tells us they advise people to use caution when visiting the lake and stay away from algae and scum. Public Health says dogs and children are most likely to be affected. For more information on areas to avoid and to report active algae bloom, head to our website, turn23.com.
Good morning, everyone. After a really nice stretch of nicer, cooler weather, we are back to warm weather here in Kern County. We were enjoying high temperatures in the 80s since the end of last week. A really nice weekend, a good start to the week, but yesterday we saw those temperatures really take back off. 95 degrees, your high temperature yesterday, and it looks like we're going to be pretty close to that here in Bakersfield again today. We will get a little bit more cloud cover as we get into the afternoon, so hopefully that helps a bit, but temperatures still looking like they're going to be getting into the mid-90s here in the valley. And looking at the forecast for the rest of Kern County, a little bit more comfortable as you'd expect in our mountain communities. Still expecting some 90s over toward Ridgecrest. We do have some other changes in the forecast, though. We are tracking some cooler weather. It does look like we get a little bit below average as we head into the weekend, and we'll have more on that in your full forecast.
And that full forecast is on our website. Those are some of the stories we're following this morning. We'll have another update for you later today.